Hello Scorpio, welcome to your weekly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of February 5th through 11th. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each card. Use your own intuition to take you beyond just what I'm telling you, okay? Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Here we have the Hermit energy. Let's find out what's going on with that Hermit energy, okay? We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. Oh, nice major arcana, major arcana. Good, pretty good. A lot of major arcana today. We're going to use our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card, and we're going to put that right over there. We're not going to look at that until the very end of the reading, so be sure to stick around. And, hopefully that will tie everything together, give us the confirmation that we're looking for at the very end of things. Okay? So, first card that we had was this Hermit card. I think you're someone who generally likes to keep to themselves. I think you're a very private person. I think you're a very almost a solitary person, but not in an antisocial way, but in a way where you're really in touch with your inner self. You're really in touch with your inner world, with your spirit, with your soul. You enjoy time alone. I think you enjoy meditation. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if you kind of lead some guided meditations or something like that. I'm getting a feeling like you do something where you guide people kind of into their own, like guided meditations or astral journeys or something like that. I get that kind of vibe from you. Maybe that's what you do for work. I'm not sure. But I think you have a very strong connection with your inner world. I think you enjoy spending time alone, meditating, studying, contemplating, just feeling and experiencing the world, okay? And I think you're the type of person that can do that even in a crowded room, right? So I think you have a very, not an extremely active social life, but I think you're a fairly social person as well. So I'm getting a nice kind of balance here between this introversion and this extroversion. And I think that this week, though, maybe seeing a little bit more of the inner work, a little bit more of the solitude and seclusion and spending time alone kind of vibe. Okay? I don't know if you've been feeling that recently or not. I think in the recent past, we have this 8 of Wands. I think in the recent past, you've had like just a fury of activity. I think in the last maybe couple months, you've been extraordinarily busy. It could be at work. We see some good earth cards on the path of the Serpent, which we'll get to in a few minutes. But I just feel like this frenzy. I feel like you were pulled in like 100 different directions. There were so many responsibilities, so many things to accomplish, so many like things to check off your list. You had so many things to get done. And I feel like it was a very, very strong pull on your energy. And I feel like now that this is winding down, you're finding the opportunity to spend some time alone. Maybe go on, a hike or just some kind of an adventure with yourself. Maybe like yourself and your dog or something. I'm getting that kind of a vibe, where you just need to kind of reconnect. And I think that's how you typically recharge, is to go maybe out in nature somewhere. It could be one of these guided things. I'm still getting that kind of a guide vibe from you. So maybe you're like a wilderness person or an outdoors person where you kind of teach or guide other people. But it's kind of that solitary activity. You know what I mean? It's something where you just kind of commune with yourself and with nature, and that's how you recharge, especially from all of this activity. Okay. And I think that this could have been, like a frenzy of creativity even. I'm getting a feeling like it was kind of a work thing, or kind of like and I say work as in maybe like the employment, like what you do for money. But this could really just be any kind of a fury of activity. Just, I feel a frenzy of activity that is in some way creative. So, a lot of the times we're creative at work, we're creative at home in our personal lives, and there's a lot of energy expended with you recently. And I think that's why we have the Hermit energy now. Okay. Let's continue on this. Let's go beneath everything here to this Moon card. I think you're someone, this was giving me also that vibe of like the guide, but like the inner kind of guide, like the, like a, kind of like a psychopomp figure, but I feel like a guided meditation, could be like a wilderness guide or something, like an outdoors person. But I feel a strong like meditation or kind of visualization or like a psychic kind of adventure with you. Could be that you do a lot of dream work. It could be a lucid dreaming kind of situation. But I feel like you have a very strong connection to the dream world, to the inner world, the astral world, the world of your imagination, probably since you were very young. Maybe it began when you were a kid and you found that you could easily control dreams, or you could influence your dreams in some way, by holding on to a scene or a visualization as you fell asleep, and then you would find yourself there kind of in a lucid way. It could be that you're someone who's had a lot of out-of-body experiences. That could be kind of what I'm getting with this kind of traveling or this guide kind of vibe, but in the spiritual realms, right? But I think you've had that connection since you were a kid. It may not be any of those things, but something like it. And I think this plays a part in what your kind of your spiritual practices are now. Okay, whether that's meditation or prayer or just being in the outdoors or your creative work, whatever that may be. I feel like it has a strong connection to your childhood, but then a strong connection also to this dream world or this realm of imagination. Okay. And I feel like that's what you're kind of getting back in connection with this week. I think this week is really a lot about this. We have a lot of earth cards, like I said, on the path of the Serpent, so I feel a very grounding energy. The Hermit is an earth card. It rules Virgo. That's a very grounding, solid energy, And then before I forget, I also want to mention the card that crosses your path this week. This was laying over the Hermit. This is the Chariot card. So this, again, is kind of like that traveling, that guide. I wonder if you're maybe actually traveling somewhere this week to some kind of a convention or some kind of a group activity related to this subject, maybe with this, either the outdoors stuff, because I'm still getting this outdoorsy vibe with you, but then I'm getting this like astral travel, psychic kind of thing, or this dream work kind of thing with you. Okay, so it could be that there's some convention or some kind of a meetup or some kind of a group activity related to that's happening this week. And that could be part of this Chariot thing. But I think also, to go a little bit more abstract, I think you're ready to level up these skills and abilities that you have. I think maybe you've been kind of at the same level for a long time. Like I'm not really feeling that there's been a lot of ascending or a lot of growth or a lot of evolution with you lately. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like you've been kind of on the same page of the book for a while now. I think it's time to turn the page. And I think the Chariot is talking about that. It's kind of like it's time to get a move on. You know what I mean? Time's getting short here. But I do feel like this recent burst of activity is related to this in some way. This could be the frenzy at work. It could be the frenzy just in your personal life or with, the holidays that passed or whatever the case may be. There was a lot of activity. You had a lot of responsibilities and your energy was pulled in many different directions. Okay? And I feel like that's now giving you the impulse to go into this hermit mode. right? Maybe you're ready for the next phase of your initiation, the next step in your evolution. And I think everything, because a lot of major arcana just centered right here with that Hermit, the Chariot, the Moon card. In the immediate future, we've got the Priestess. This could be really your ideal. This could be what you view as the divine realm, your guardian angel, your God, goddess, deity, whatever you want to call it, universal mind, universal energy, spirit guide. But this is your connection to that, and I think this is where you're moving toward. This is what you're going toward. The Chariot is on its way to that High Priestess. Okay. And that High Priestess is essentially a part of you, but it's the part of you that has that direct connection with divinity. And I don't mean to make this reading too spiritual or religious or mystical or anything like that. Not trying to get too hocus pocus here. But I think that you're someone who is really striving to forge that connection. And I think now's the time, with all of this major arcana energy centered right here on the path of the dove, I think this week is time for you to make some progress forging this connection. Okay? And in a more practical sense, this really could be you traveling to this kind of a spiritual convention, a psychic convention, maybe a tarot convention, or I think they have those, right? They have conventions for everything. But some kind of a meetup that's related to this subject. And this could be a practical way for you to, to manifest this intent of forging this link. Could be by literally going out and making a link with this group of people, this convention, this meetup, or whatever this event is. So it's kind of a symbolic gesture on your part to solidify this intent that you have in your own initiation, your own spiritual path, right? To do these things. It's kind of the outward manifestation of this inner intent. It's kind of symbolic. And so it's interesting if this is taking place at the same time, if there is literally this convention that you're going to or this event. I think it has a deep symbolic implication for you on your own personal journey, your inner journey, right? But up above everything, we have a 5 of Swords. I think that you're someone maybe who at times doubts yourself. I think you have this habit of kind of inflicting harm on your own confidence, your own self-esteem. I get this feeling of you kind of talking down to yourself or like being unkind to yourself. And maybe that's why we've been stuck on the same page in this spiritual evolution, this journey, this initiation. Maybe you are doubting your own confidence, your own abilities. And we're kind of stuck at this place and time. I think we need to address this because I think this is really the only thing that I can tell from these cards that's holding you back from your progress, is this self-doubt, this maybe negative thinking, maybe putting yourself down. So we need to flip this pentagram upside down. Maybe this is right side up. Take this kind of this underdog kind of attitude and put spirit back on top, right? Put spirit back in control. Let spirit really take the reins here and grab the wheel. And this is through positive affirmations, building up your confidence, having this positive dialogue with your guardian angels, with your spirit guides, God, goddess, deity, whatever you want to call it. Having that dialogue, right? Rather than having this dialogue with your ego that is lowering your confidence, that is pushing spirit down beneath these elements, right? Trying to keep spirit contained. And that to me is doing yourself a very huge disservice. Because of everything that I can sense about you, I think you're getting in your own way and you're putting yourself down when this doesn't need to be. You have so much in you to offer. There's so much wonderful energy about you that we need to flip this pentagram right side up and put spirit back on top. Okay. So we're going to leave that card upside down there, or right side up. And we're going to move over to the Path of the Serpent now, and I just want to say that these cards are always correct. You've heard me say that before. You never get an incorrect tarot card. I don't care who you are. The problem as the interpreter is that I might not be able to attribute each of these cards to your exact circumstances. Okay? So that's why I ask you to connect directly with the images and the energies of these cards. Use your own intuition. All right? You gotta help me out a little bit. So, Path of the Serpent, we have some really practical stuff going on. We have a lot of earth energy, the Queen of Pentacles or discs. I think you're someone that is, you've been focused on career, but not so much. I think that you've had a very steady work life. I think that you have worked hard your entire life. I don't have a sense really of how old you are. I feel like you're kind of on the younger side of life, but I could be wrong. Either way, though, I feel like career and financial riches and money hasn't really been your central focus. You're in it more for the experience and for the way the experiences affect you, the way you grow through experiences, and the way you relate to things, more than just gimme, gimme, gimme. And with the Queen here, I feel that the work that you've done throughout your life has always been in some way an expression of your love and compassion for other people. So I don't feel you're just a gimme, 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 a greedy kind of person. I think you've had relative stability throughout your life, but you don't aspire for millions and millions and millions. You want to be comfortable. You want to be comfortable and you want to be of service. I think that's your vibe. At least right now it feels that way. Maybe last week, maybe next week will be different. But right now I think that you want to have enough to be comfortable, but you don't want to lose connection with what's really meaningful to you. The experience, the compassion, the expression of love and affection and commitment and devotion to your people, your clients maybe. I'm still getting this kind of a guide vibe with you. So I think that you're in it for the experience more than you are for the gimme, gimme, gimme the riches kind of deal. So this is what I see generally for you. In the environment, I think with this Princess of Discs or Pentacles, I think because you have this kind of attitude, nature, the universe, the world, whatever, provides for you more than you need. I think you live in abundance. I think you live comfortably. I think you have everything that you need and then some because you're not gimme, 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 greedy kind of person. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of because that's not your central focus, because that's not the highest achievement that you can imagine, because you're not obsessed with, abundance and finance and riches, and because of that, the universe is providing for you. Because you're in it for the experience, for the compassion, for the sharing of energy with people, the universe, nature, the world is providing for you more than you need. Yeah, you still have to do the work and put in the effort, don't get me wrong. And you know that full well because of this frenzy of activity that we had. You know what hard work is. But you're not obsessed with the results. You're not obsessed with the money from all of that hard work. You see? So the universe provides for you. And I think the universe will provide for you, will continue to do so. So I think your environment is such that I think you can focus on this kind of spiritual evolution, this next step for you, this initiation, whatever this journey, whatever this traveling is, whatever we're doing with all of this major arcana here that we talked about on the Path of the Dove for 20 minutes already. Whatever you're doing here, I think the environment around you is very supportive of that. And it will continue to provide for you while you do this, while you do the hermit mode and take care of your spirit, take care of your inner self. Your environment will still be there, supporting you. Okay? And we see that too with this Six of Pentacles, more good earth energy. This is intense cooperation. We didn't get a lot of other court cards here. We had these two, but I think these are more abstract. We didn't get any specific people in your life right now, because I think the hermit mode, right? I think the other people, they're supportive, they're part of the environment that we were talking about here, but this isn't directly involving them, because this is your inner journey, right? But I think there's a lot of cooperation with the people around you. I think this card is generally pretty much a continuation off this Princess of Discs, talking about the supportive environment that you're in. I think that the people around you, you have a very good relationship with these people. I almost feel like this is like your group. This is maybe like the group in your meditation, your guided astral journeys, your guided, whatever it is, your outdoors wilderness kind of guide or something. This is the group of people around you, and I think that you have such a tight-knit group. So I don't know if this is family or if this is like your job, maybe your employment, but I feel like everyone around you, it's just like they were handpicked. Do you know what I mean? But maybe not by you, maybe by spirit, right? I think everybody that you have like on your team is the perfect match for the team. Does that make sense? It's just this perfect kind of unity and this perfect harmony between everybody. And I don't know, again, really exactly what that team is or what it's about or what you do, but I feel like everybody, it feels like they're all kind of hand-selected, because everybody just fits in perfectly into this beautiful harmony around you. And I think going into this hermit mode, you're a little bit worried that you might be disrupting this harmony, but with the cards that we have here, I don't think this is much of a concern. The cards in your position of fears, worries, and concerns, but I don't feel like this is an issue at all. I think that the environment will continue to support you. I think even though you go hermit mode, this harmony is still going to be there, right? Everything's still going to function and flow perfectly. The final card on the Path of the Serpent is this 3 of Wands, some good fire energy. I think that this is you gearing up for the next round of frenzied activity, and it could be that's kind of the way that things go with you. It's an intense period of energy, right? The frenzy, what I'm calling it. And then there's this more solitary, introverted period, and then you're back to beginning the next round of frenzied activity. So I think what is coming down the line for you is a new round of this activity, but you're going to have made a lot of spiritual progress in the interim, in the in-between, frenzy to frenzy. You're making a lot of progress, and you're really accomplishing a lot with all of this energy just in the short time between this last frenzy and this new kind of round of activity. It could be that you're almost like a seasonal worker, or not seasonal, but that you work like intensely for a month and then you have a month off. You know what I mean? It feels like it's kind of like that, like an intense frenzy, and then you've got a lot of time. And then another frenzy of work, intense activity, and then more time. Something like that. So I feel like you're gearing up for the next one, which is coming down the line. But you're going to be on like a new rung of your spiritual evolution. So you really are doing a lot of intense inner work during this time, and I think that's really crucial. And I think obviously with this, it's a good time to focus on that. But let's look at this mystery card and see what is going on with this. I don't know what this could be, to be honest with you. Well, we've got the 11th mystery of the tarot, the Lust or Strength card. I think this is really showing that leveling up of your spiritual force and fire, going from frenzy to the next round of intense activity. But you're gaining so much. You're gaining so much control over yourself, so much self-knowledge. You're really like leveling up your power. You know what I mean? And so this is really a confirmation that's saying all of this inner work that we're talking about, you're going to be able to apply that to your external life, the work that you do, the whatever activities you partake in with this fire energy here, your creativity. You're going to be in so much more control. And I think a big part of initiation and magic and spiritual work is about control. Controlling our kind of innate powers. I think we all have these tremendous spiritual gifts, but we just have to learn how to use them, how to be open to them, how to control them and utilize them. You know, and I think you are learning that more and more and more through these periods of hermit mode, introspection, meditation, and all of this stuff. I think you're learning more and more self-control, and you're stepping more and more into your own power, and that's a beautiful thing. Anyway, Scorpio, we are going to look at this a little bit in the extended. If you want to stick around, click on the link that's right there, and you can have access to all of the extended readings. Okay, that's it. This was your weekly reading for February 5th through 11th on Dove and Serpent Tarot.